Hello and welcome to this nighttime taste challenge. Well, it's morning, but it's still dark outside, so I've already walked a half a mile. I have two. Ow! I'm sorry, this kitten is really wild. Fortunately, she was really relaxed earlier, but now it's going off the rails again. If I put her out the door, she'll cry the whole time. I have two. She likes biting my feet. Two sour mash whiskeys. This is Heaven Hill Old Style Bourbon, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, aged 3 years. It's charcoal mellow, charcoal filtered before they bottle it, just like Jack Daniels is charcoal filtered, but Jack Daniels is dripped through charcoal before they age it. Anyway, this liter bottle was purchased in Texarkana, Arkansas, and it was $11.99. So that's a great deal. This product is still made, but it has been rebranded as Quality House, and everything else is the same. With like they changed the label, but they changed the colors on the label and the name, but everything else like set up almost identical because they wanted to put Heaven Hill, that name, as their premium and above premium products, and then Quality House would be like their budget products. Quality House has been around since 1980. So I noticed that transition going on about the last 3 years. We used to get Heaven Hill Kentucky blended whiskey, and now it's called Quality House Premium, but with basically the same label. Okay, so it pours an amber color. This is Nelson's Greenbrier. It was an old brand back from the 1860s, and the company went out of business due to prohibition and competition and whatnot. But two descendants of the original Nelson brought it back in 2019, and it's still around. So I bought this at Walmart. They got rid of it. They sold it for $9. Like my friend David said last night, if Walmart only sells good selling products, in other words, if it doesn't move, it doesn't stay. And it probably wasn't moving, so it didn't stay. And when they get rid of something, they just discount it to basically give it away. So they want it off. Got a rubber stopper, synthetic rubber. They want it out the store. So I was just happened to be in there that day when they had it for $9, so I wasn't passing up on it. And they had a number of them for $9. I guess they were doing a clearing out reset. And I noticed Walmart has brought in a lot of new products over the last year for sure. But they don't have too many products that accumulate dust in there. They just discontinue them. They used to sell Rolling Rock beer. Didn't move too well. One day it was gone. I'll show you the website for Nelson's Greenbrier. There is no website listing for the Heaven Hill. Okay. Greenbrier Tennessee whiskey, 45.5% alcohol, 91 proof. Get away from the wires. But it's only aged 2 years, so it's a young whiskey. It's from Constellation Brands, so the brothers collaborated and let their brand come under Constellation Brands, who's a big company in New York. And I mean, they got the money to get the stuff out on the shelves, and fund the distillery and everything. They're showing a nice rocks glass. And so in some places it sells all right. It usually runs around $30 to $34. So to find it for a line is great, huh? Mash bill, here we go. Corn, wheat, and malted barley. We know it's at least 50% corn because Tennessee whiskey is a type of bourbon, even though they may not want to tell you that. Stop it. All right, so won many awards as recent as last year. You can see all those, even a double medal, which means not just a gold medal for being excellent, but the best in its class, Tennessee whiskey. So that's a good winner. And they got variants of it. I've seen those around, the variants, but I haven't bought them. All right, so let me update my notes here because I didn't. 80 proof, 91 proof. So a year less aging. That may not make much of a difference in the flavor, but the proof should shine through, you would assume. I would think I wouldn't confuse a 90 proof with a 80, but I've been fooled before. And I wouldn't think I'd confuse a $34 whiskey with a get back. See what I mean? Pulling on the wires. All right. How about this? You go out the room. Go. No, you don't want to go, huh? You want to stay in and cause mayhem. Go ahead. Play with your toy. That's why I bought it. She don't like to play with toys too much. She rather cause disruption. Nope. Once again, you don't seem to understand the process. Maybe now she'll stop now. She ain't gonna stop. So they're both amber. The appearance doesn't really differ. Let's see what the temperature is out there. 39 degrees. Wow, they can get down to 43. Now they're showing 39. But it's supposed to get up to like 75 today. And all the way through Christmas in the mid to even upper 70s, believe it or not. Aroma. Not a whole lot happening, honestly. Same thing. A lot of these bourbons, they don't really have a whole lot of aromatics. It's just like a little bit of corn. It's kind of basic on the nose, but I mean, you know, no big deal. I'm tasting it. Wouldn't drink whiskey at 5:30 in the morning, but I'm tasting it. It's a taste challenge after all. It's not a smell challenge. Taste time. Cheers. Just basic, good. When I say basic, I'm not implying that it's bad. I get the charred oak, get the corn. The rye, they use a little bit of 10% of the whiskey in here is malted barley, malt whiskey like they use in Scotland with single malt. But bourbons usually are a blend of different whiskeys, but it has to be at least mostly corn. Got to be a majority corn. So that's just the rule. Ow! The other 49% doesn't matter. You can use any grain you want. As long as you age it in new charred oak barrels, can't be a used barrel. Now over here, a little more flavor, a little more sweetness, like some honey, or even more like corn syrup, which is a sweetener, right? Natural sweetener. Corn is full of sugar. That's why they use corn for beer and whiskey, because the sugar converts to alcohol. It's just that's why they sell sweet corn at the store. All right, but and it seemed like it's got a little higher proof on this, like it's a little stronger. Now, is it really a situation where you say, oh yeah, I'm going to pay the $34, I think it's $32.99 versus the $11.99 for a liter? I can't see that's justified. No, I don't see that where that's justified, because the flavor's a little better, but it's not elaborately better. It's not tremendously better. in my opinion. I'm not seeing, let me see Total Wine. They usually sell Nelson's Greenbrier. They tend to have a pretty good price point. Their beer tends to be a little pricey, actually, but their liquor tends to be lower than everybody else's. Nelson's Greenbrier. They're only selling the straight $30.99, and it's on sale. So yeah, they don't handle Nelson's stuff. I don't think Nelson's Greenbriers are like really too popular. It made a splash. People used to buy it quite a bit. I know Rouse's has it, but I don't see people buying it. It looks like it just sits on the shelf. Not really my problem. It's not your problem. It's maybe the company's problem. Nelson's Green. I don't think Walmart's going to have it. That's why they had it for $9. Nah. No, they don't carry it. So like I said, I sold it for $9. Dylan says, "Where's the wild animal?" As in Dave. Oh yeah, he might be watching. But the real wild animal is this thing. Really wild. Of course, she's domesticated, not wild. Even when she's biting me, it's like pretend biting. It's like play biting, but it still hurts. Okay, last taste here. I don't know, man. That's got some strength to it. Quality stuff, either way it goes. Yeah, this one's stronger. It's got to be the Greenbrier. Is it better? That's debatable. Maybe. I don't think so. Only aged 2 years. Now, it's not called straight whiskey. Notice, if you look at the bottle carefully, nowhere does it say straight whiskey. Well, I think I know why. It does meet all the requirements for straight whiskey. It's coming from the same state. All the whiskeys are from the same state. The rye, the corn, the rye, and the barley. These have very similar mash bill. I don't know about the percentages. They don't give that out. They're both sour mash. That's not part of being a straight whiskey sour mash. Yes or no, it doesn't matter. Aged in new charred barrels for at least 2 years. So it fits everything. Aged at least 2 years, 51% corn, all from the same state. Why is it not listed as straight whiskey? I think I know the answer. If you read the regulations, state of Tennessee, that law only applies to Tennessee. It's a state law. It doesn't apply to any other state. There's no U.S. government designation of Tennessee whiskey, in fact. So as far as the United States government is concerned, this is just a blended whiskey. It would fall under the category of blended whiskey. As far as the state of Tennessee is concerned, it's Tennessee whiskey. Okay, fine. But if you read the regulation for Tennessee whiskey, there's nowhere that it says anything about flavoring and coloring not allowed. There's no prohibition against it. Therefore, I think they're probably tweaking it with a little flavoring. Don't know what the flavoring would be, vanilla or something. But they don't list it as straight whiskey, just like George Dickel. Most of their stuff just says Tennessee whiskey without the E, W-H-I-S-K-Y. And it has a very unusual flavor, good flavor, but unusual. And I think they're tweaking it with flavoring. And if you read your regulations carefully, the U.S. government says with a blended whiskey, they can add flavoring, they can add coloring, and the third and most important part of that is they do not have to disclose it on the label. They can slip it in there undisclosed. So I've never had anybody challenge me on that. And because maybe if somebody had a question, they could just go to ttb.gov, Tax and Trade Bureau.gov, which lists the regulations. It's very clear. It's not like hard to understand. They have a big chart, and it details everything. Very easy to understand. So it's complicated, but it's not hard to understand. Okay, so anyway, I say by all things considered, the winner would be Heaven Hill because it's a third of the price. And I got 25% more whiskey in a liter bottle. And the flavor is right there where it needs to be. So is it it common to find in Louisiana? No, you just basically don't see this in Louisiana. All right. But now you say, well, I live in Kentucky and it's everywhere. That's probably true. Mississippi might be everywhere, but here it's like very old Barton, another Sazerac product. Well, Sazerac makes it. You never see very old Barton in Louisiana. No way. But go to Kentucky, every liquor store in Kentucky's got all the variants. I went to Mississippi, they had all the variants. So it just depends how they want to distribute it, where they think it's going to sell, or maybe try to talk a distributor into carrying it. And they might say, no, deal with it. We got too much stuff now. So I'm saying this is the Heaven Hill. Not quite as good, but definitely not going to be short by $20. Oh, amazingly, this is the Nelson's Greenbrier. This is the Nelson's Greenbrier, and I couldn't even tell the parts. That's even either shows I don't know what I'm doing, or which is possible, but more likely they're not that different. Same mash bill, mostly corn, some rye, a little bit of malted barley. They're both sour mash. It just is not that different. And the proof, hey, doesn't seem to matter. All right, so sorry I got it wrong, but just justifies the Heaven Hill. So it's Heaven Hill, aka now known as Quality House. Is this a good straight bourbon to buy? Is this like a hidden brand that's kind of flying under the radar and not seen by too many people? Definitely it is. Don't let the price fool you or trick you. Like I say, you're going to see a new label now. It's going to say QH instead of HH. It's going to say Quality House instead of Heaven Hill, but it's from the bottle is going to be the same. And yeah, so definitely one of the best values in bourbon today, without a doubt. I would not hesitate to say that. Greenbrier, I'm not really seeing the $30 justification on that at all, but good product nonetheless. All right. Obviously your goal is to destroy the lamp. She bit through it. I had to splice it back together and fix it, but her goal is I will destroy this lamp and you'll have to buy a new one. And more than likely she'll achieve that goal. All right. Thank you, everybody. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.